They just keep churning out the talent. According to ESPN, they have the #1 recruiting class for 2021 as well. All right, I want to talk about the season, though, fellas. So Ohio State only played 5 regular season games. Alabama played 10. Both went undefeated. But considering all the adversity with this season due to the pandemic and the stopping and the starting of the season, Max, I'll start with you. But do you think there should be an asterisk next to the season?
Hell no. I mean, 1981, there was a baseball players' strike. They played some teams played 110 or 11. Some, but you don't need an asterisk. You can see what happened. 2001, after 9/11, the Yankees and the Diamondbacks played in November, the World Series. You don't need an asterisk. There were world events that were occurring and in and out of the sport that affected things. And furthermore, you don't want to devalue the championship. Guys, look what happened around sports. The Lakers, who were favored by many to win, in fact won. And they went wire to wire, really is the best team in basketball. Is that a shocking result? LeBron James and Anthony Davis and the Lakers won the championship and they were the best team the whole time. Nick Saban's Alabama Crimson Tide went the same thing. Wire to wire, best team in college football and won the championship. Oh my God. So strange. Boy, really, we need an asterisk because of events around sports that affected sports, we got unusual results. No, we didn't. The Dodgers, with a huge payroll and a sabermetric analytic front office, and for years just, really knocking on that championship door, finally break through and win a championship. Surprise? No. They were among if not the favorites to win. No, an asterisk, I think, is important to note that there were unusual circumstances, and so here are some unusual results that did not occur. And in fact, athletes, as has been pointed out by many, including me, have gone through probably more this season than they have, at least in recent memory. No asterisk.
I think that's an asinine point of view, personally. Of course, there's an asterisk that gets attached to the season. That doesn't mean that you denigrate the teams that ended up winning the championship. You don't frown at the Dodgers. You don't frown at Alabama. You don't frown at the Lakers. We get that. But the asterisk is not about frowning on an eventual champion. It's about highlighting and illuminating the difference in this season compared to any other. We've had game cancellation. Major League Baseball went from 162 games to 60 games. Okay? You can't tell me that there shouldn't be an asterisk attached to that. That doesn't mean that you look at the Dodgers and frown upon them and think that they're not worthy champions. You're just highlighting this season was vastly different from what seasons customarily exist. You look at this national championship. Of course, Alabama was there. Alabama, you know me, Alabama all day, every day. I got all of that. But there does need to be something said about Alabama, who goes 13-0, and Ohio State, who plays 6 or 7 games. There is a difference. Big Ten delayed their play because initially they were aiming to cancel their season before they changed their mind and got things together. The SEC didn't do that, but games were stalled, games were postponed, games were canceled. Guys tested positive, coaches tested positive. We saw a playoff game. It didn't turn out that way for the Pittsburgh Steelers like they thought. But hell, Kevin Stefanski didn't even coach the game because, you know what, because of COVID issues with the Cleveland Browns. It doesn't mean that you frownamize them, but an asterisk doesn't have to mean that. An asterisk can simply be a tool to highlight the fact that there were some very unique circumstances that existed this season, unlike any other in American history, or at least over the last century. This highlights that. There's nothing wrong with that.
I think in this situation, it would have to highlight the fact that this was a tougher accomplishment than what had been accomplished in the past. This was the toughest season that they've gone through than what was gone through in the past. This is the Alabama team that won more SEC games than any other Alabama team before them. This is an Alabama team that beat number 7, number 4, and number 3 to end their season. This is an Alabama team that won 7 out of the 15 college football awards on this team. They had the #1 rushing TD maker in college football. They had the #1 receiver, also won the Heisman. They got the best quarterback in Mac Jones. They got the best center in Dickerson, who was hurt, didn't play in the game. They had the best offensive line. And so this season for Alabama and honestly every team across the country that actually ended up playing football through these circumstances needs to have this season highlighted. Not only did Alabama accomplish all those things and win the national championship, but I look across the country. The fact that the Big Ten wasn't going to play, the Pac-12 wasn't going to play, the MAC wasn't going to play, they found a way and pushed through and found a way to play football games. They deserve a pat on the back, and they should honestly highlight this season and say the amount of work, the amount of focus, the amount of effort, the amount of people it took to get a season in is so impressive that this season needs to be highlighted.
Yeah, it needs to be highlighted. Again,
Well,
I don't disagree with any of your points, Joey. But again, an asterisk doesn't necessarily connotate a negative, does it?
Not at all. And I'm agreeing with
That's
you and
both of
saying
your points.
it should be an asterisk that says thank you and plus. This is a plus on this, not a one
Right.
that says this wasn't legit.
Right.
Then, first of all, Stephen A., just to clear this up, asinine doesn't mean brilliant. It means foolish. So I think you misused the word. Let me explain
I didn't
this
misuse
very
the word because I
clearly.
would never
I'll use sock
associate
puppets
brilliance
if
with
you're
you.
having a hard
I would
time
never
with it.
associate brilliance with
Let
you.
me
So I didn't
explain
use
it
the
very
word.
clearly.
I didn't use the
In
word negatively at all,
1981,
inappropriately at all.
There were 100. Some teams played like 101 or 102 games. Other teams played 110, 111 games in Major League Baseball. There was a weird playoff format. First half winners played second half winners in order to advance to the playoffs. So there was a third tier of playoffs, which didn't used to exist in 1981 in Major League Baseball. There's no asterisk. You don't need one. You can see there's something different. Right? I mean, as I said, 9/11, those were extraordinary circumstances. People forget now, or maybe aren't as in touch with that feeling. There was a sense of danger in public gatherings, etc. And Major League Baseball
so when do you think
went
the
ahead with the
asterisk
World
is
Series
appropriate?
in November, first time it had happened. We don't need an asterisk, but the
I'm
fact
saying
is we
when
don't
did,
have one,
so for
because
clarification
something was
purposes,
different. That's
when
right.
do you think it's needed? Is what I'm asking. When do you think it's needed? Seriously, when do you think it's needed, Matt?
An asterisk would be something like, so here's a misuse of one. Roger Maris got an asterisk because he broke Babe Ruth's single-season home run record, but he did it in 162 instead of 154 games. So they want to say, and even then I'm not crazy about it, but I understand the idea. They want to say, yes, this is the single-season record for home runs, but look, he had 8 more games to do it in than Babe Ruth did. So we put a little asterisk. Even then I don't love it. But in this case, we know what happened. This is not something that requires, but like people will not forget this season. And
I apologize. You still haven't
really
answered my
the
question.
issue is it's.
I asked you a
asterisk.
direct question. When do you think an asterisk is appropriate? I didn't ask for a history lesson. I want to know when do you think it's
What about a
appropriate?
cheating
You'd have to give
scandal?
me some
What about something
hypotheticals.
involving steroids or some type of scandal? Would that involve an asterisk in your opinion? Just trying to help you out here.
Maybe you'd have to give me if a team was found to have cheated and after the fact that clearly decided the game and you can't really strip them of their title, right? You want to use an asterisk. Even then, I don't love it, but okay.
Hey.
This does not require an
I'm
asterisk.
good with it, Max. I'm good with it. You
pretty
provided an
much you
answer
never
to
love
the
it.
question.
That's really
all
the
I
bottom
asked.
line.
You finally gave me an
I
answer.
don't.
It took you about 2 weeks, but you finally gave me an answer. Thank you very much. I got an answer. That's all I wanted, Max. You gave me an answer. You're good. We good. You gave me an answer.
Stephen A., this
you gave me an answer.
doesn't require an
You
asterisk.
gave me an answer. Thank you very much.
You didn't get
All
any
right,
unusual
Joey
outcome.
Galloway, welcome to my life. I'm sorry your Buckeyes didn't win, but clearly the receiver position did. So kind of a win there. Get some rest. Thank you for being with us
Thanks a
this
lot,
morning.
Joey.
Appreciate you. All right.
Thanks,
When
guys.
we come
Take
back
care.
here on First Take, I told you we got a lot more to get into. Bill Belichick had his fair share of visits to the White House, but find out why he's declining another visit